What is up, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in here on Chop It Up with Tony. Another episode of Solo Sessions here. Got to get stuff off the chest, of course. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying them. I mean, I've seen the views. I appreciate them. But the big question that came about is, the wife's birthday was recently, and obviously, you get that in your mind. You appreciate, you know, what she's done, what she's brought to the table, what she's meant to me in life. You know, I've known her since 2004. We have been together for 22 years now, 22 years in our lives. Relationship has not been easy, which I appreciate. And I thank her for my knuckleheadedness, my, my discretions, and my troubles. You know, I thank her for being my rock. And I've had to um, I've leaned on her quite a bit in my life, which in turn, with a loved one, it's kind of the general purpose. You lean on the ones that you love. She's handled a lot of me, and that has been just a beautiful sight to see. I think when you have someone like that who, hands down, chooses to love you and stays there by your side through the rough times, through the craziness that you bring, it's amazing to see that they stay. It's amazing to see what they have endured, endured, what they have accepted, and what they have supported. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing. And we're going on, this year is going to be our 15th year that we've been married. 15 years. Still remember the wedding day. Still remember that, which is awesome. Remember us having our kids. Remember the rough time we've dealt with having our kids. But it's been great. It's been great. I think the big question that I ask myself, and it's a good question to you guys, how important it is to have someone in your life that chooses to love you. And I say that with the emphasis because not everyone has to love anybody, you know? We don't have to love each other. We don't have to sit here and love them just because, you know? Love our parents, love our siblings, love our family, love our friendships. You don't have to. There's choices that are made in that. Like, we choose to love each other. And generally with family members, it's an automatic. It's like, your family, we love you, regardless of what someone does, regardless of their mistakes. It's like, we're the ones that are here 24/7. But it still at the end of the day, it becomes a choice. When a family member crosses a line, then that's where that choice becomes, I don't have to love you no more. You crossed the line. This isn't the first or 10th time you've done so. So at this point, I'm choosing to wipe my hands, eliminate the problem. But at the end of the day, on that part, you end up still having to deal with something of that nature. Someone passes, you're involved. Someone's arrested, you're kind of get involved. Someone causes drama with another family, you're involved. you know? But for someone like your other half, for them to choose and for them to be there, it's amazing because of how much it shows of what they love of you. It shows of how much they're willing to take because they love you. And that is, you don't really get to acknowledge any of that. I don't. I know for a fact it can be overlooked quite a bit, just because of the everyday tasks at hand, right? The everyday, you know, situations you're in just makes you kind of lose focus or makes you lose sight of that. And that's why in relationships things end up happening where you forget you forget why you guys either got married or why you're together. You forget that sometimes. You forget why you're in each other's lives. And it's hard to reel it back and be like, this one time, this is the reason why we're together. This is the reason why we stayed together. This is the reason why I end up falling in love. It becomes very difficult to remember all that and to kind of put that in perspective because just of what your currently state of mind is of what you're going through. If you guys are in the middle of an argument, if you're in the middle of a disagreement, if you're in the middle of a situation where someone does someone wrong, that anger and that cloudiness of judgment is there. And the one thing I saw between my parents is, a lot of arguments, a lot of forgiveness, a lot of trials again. But I think the choices of just trying to fix it because of the kids, never a good reason. Never a good reason. Don't just do it because for another reason. You do it because you want to be with that person. And maybe my parents did in some way, shape, wanted to make it work and wanted to be there for each other. But they weren't a match. So I told myself growing up that if I were to choose my person, it's because even though you're not my match, you're technically my match. The opposites attract. The thing I learned with my wife and then that is that we are different, very different of how we speak to people, how we find entertainment, how we have a conversation. It's very different, very different. Clothes we like, movies we tend to watch. Well, no, not movies. Which come to find out now is we have a lot of similarities in that. Because back then it was more or less of she didn't want to tell me that she liked these certain movies or did like these cartoons or played these certain games because she didn't want me to judge her. She didn't want me to think she was, not cool, you would say. I'm sorry, babe, but you said it. But for her to do such just tells me it's like she in her mind thought my expectations of her would be different. In reality, my expectations of my wife was just to be a good person to me, to be just to be someone who I'm able to talk to, be someone who I'm able to hang out with, be someone who I'm able to literally hold hands as we're just chilling watching a movie. Be someone who I can be truly myself without judgment. And yeah, if I become too annoying at some point, yeah, let me know. Be have have that, courage to tell me, "Hey, listen, this is how you should operate." Or even then, when you're around people and you're having family activities and you're having these family, get-togethers and stuff like that, be the person to be like, hey babe, I think I think that conversation you had with your cousin or with your brother and sister, you could have handled it a little different. I think you I think they're maybe wanted you to say it this way or that way. And that's improvement. That's encouragement, especially if it's done in a manner of out of respect, not of love. There's a difference between someone giving you good criticism than to be just criticizing you aggressively. There's a big difference. And there's a big difference of listening in on it and accepting of what the other person's saying, because going in hot and heavy and just saying you did this, you did that, just right off the bat with aggression, tune it off, because now I'm going to be combative. But going in with love and respect and coming in that shape or form, it's going to be accepted. So then that way, when a situation happens again, now it's remembering. Now it's, you know what? I was addressed about this situation before. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to say this instead. And I truly believe what over the years and these type of conversations have helped me operate on the level of communication. I I think in the last couple of solo sessions and throughout these solo sessions, it's the knowledge of my communication has never been the greatest. Has never been the greatest. And it's so I take it as the trauma that I endured, holding in my feelings so another person doesn't get hurt. Not not being truthful and honest when I should be. Letting someone just kind of in the sense of being walked over. So I think that's what's actually been helping with myself in that nature. Just understanding the difference of how I was growing up to what I changed now in myself in order to be better, but also do better. And it's nothing's gonna be in it like a instant the next day over. It's an every type of day battle. And it takes a long time. It takes a long time to get things literally fine tuned, because the old traits tend to come back. And don't be ashamed either if the old traits come back and then you realize, ah, damn, I messed up. It's okay. But knowing and acknowledging that, doing your due diligence on fixing that, I truly believe that's acceptable from anyone. But having her, having my special someone choose me to be by my side, you know, you take for granted sometimes, but it's fulfilling for the most part. I looked at my grandparents. Obviously, weren't either too. They had their issues, which in as life as you get older, you find out every relationship has issues. Every relationship isn't the greatest of them all, the cleanest, the most respect. I don't say respected. That's a little rough, but the most every relationship isn't the most not problematic. Every relationship isn't the best. Every relationship isn't just normal or lovey-dovey, right? Every relationship is going to have a problem. Everyone's going to have an argument. If you don't argue with your special someone, then something ain't right. You gotta argue. You have to have a nice little combative argument. Sometimes I think. Then it leads off to aggression. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we hold stuff in. Not saying you gotta express everything out either, but to kind of let the aggression come out a little bit and be like, you know what, you're so freaking nice. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I like it. That's because I got a feisty young lady. And I like it when she gets feisty. It's nice. It's the Latina in her. You know what I'm saying? But love that woman. I think that for sure is something where it's nice to know that I have a partner that I can't wait to get old with, that I have a partner that truly, truly just loves me. And as much as the effort that you put in of loving them, that love back will be reciprocated. It's great. You just treat each other with respect. You treat each other with the love and care. So I think that's what you kind of have to feel. You have to feel that. Don't just automatically give out your love all willy nilly. Neither that ain't smart. Doing that could cause too much chaos mentally just because of the amount of pressure that it comes with, the amount of just drama that falls with that. So if that's the case, just take it easy. Choose have your special someone, spend the time that you would with anything that you care about with that person. Water, it's like watering the proper plant that you have. Water it, make it help it grow, be good with it, be safe with it, take care of it, handle it with the care that it deserves. And there are going to be times where you do forget it. You do forget to do so. It's not right. It's not right that you do it. But remember that so that way when the mistakes do come in, you do the utmost best to change and fix. And you continue that and stay consistent with that care. And don't be afraid to communicate. Hey, I'm not feeling today. I'm not feeling good. I'm going to need my space or I'm going to need a moment. If a person who chooses to love you is able to listen to that and be like, for you to acknowledge that and for you to tell me that today, hell yeah, I'll do that for you. Just sit back over there. They can express it too. They had a rough day as well. Communication goes a long way. So if you find that special someone say someone. So if you find that special someone, handle it with care. Take care of it. Be safe with it. Show them why you love them and appreciate the love that they're giving back to you. That's all this world needs is some love, tender love and care.